What's up, guys? I'm Amnesiac Metal Album, do 150 classic albums by the end of the year. I'm also doing Patreon requests. This sadly hasn't been requested on Patreon, but Radiohead is a part of my monthly uploads. I have a bunch of artists that I want to do every single month, and Radiohead is one of them. Thankfully, most of the monthly uploaded artists, they get requested. This one didn't. I'm assuming it's because it's Amnesiac and not like In Rainbows, which In Rainbows has been requested, but Amnesiac didn't. I know that Amnesiac is kind of similar to Kid A. A lot of people say it's B-sides, and there's a lot of people that say that's actually really disparaging to Amnesiac because it's one of their favorite albums. For me, it's been about a year since I've listened to Kid A, and I've done some re-listens and stuff like that for lists of best albums that I've done and stuff like that. But I found that I've come back a whole lot more to the Bends and OK Computer, even though I think Kid A is really fucking good. I think that style of like RDM, Aphex Twin sort of stuff is something that is like less replayable for me, even if I think it's like beautiful in an artistic way. Even though some of the tracks there are gorgeous, I just don't seem to come back to them as much. And I'm afraid, I guess, coming into Amnesiac here, that might be the case here. And to even a lesser extent, because I don't think people talk about Amnesiac on the same level as Kid A, or I haven't heard that, so I'm not too sure. So just to go up, I don't know, just to tell you that there's a chance I might not like this, but I'm going to come in with an open mind. Everything Radiohead has done, it feels like it's technical to a T level of good, so I'm assuming this is going to be the same thing because it's a studio release. It's not like it is actually a deluxe or a B-sides, but yeah. This is my first time reaction. Haven't heard any of these songs before. Like basically everything on this channel. But yeah, let's see how it goes. I need to listen to some Aphex Twin. I've only heard Come to Daddy. I haven't heard anything else. So if you want to request that, you go to Patreon and request it. I like how pretty these tones are. Like it has a very nice prettiness to it. It reminds me of I guess like Idiotech off of Kid A or something. I love Tom York's voice, so any of these tracks with his voice will be nice. Ooh, I like this quite a bit. I've never heard this like band before, which thankfully one of them is requested on Patreon to do. U2, for whatever reason, this reminds me of what I think U2 is going to sound like vocally. Don't know if that's at all true, but for whatever reason, that's kind of the vibe that I get. Which is interesting because I feel like Tom York a lot of the time doesn't, like on Pablo Honey, he kind of sounds like Led Zeppelin-y, and then if I'm being honest, like I don't know who he sounds like on the Bends, OK Computer, that sort of thing, because in my head that's kind of just Radiohead, you know? It's like he has like a deeper register here. Ooh, it's so delicate and pretty. Well, like Kid A kind of felt like it was like talking about like a dystopic world, like this icy dystopic world. This has a completely different tone. There's like an anger. Like even lyrically it is. Well, like the last one was like dystopic and full despair, nihilism sort of thing. This one has like an anger underneath it. Which I feel like... Sorry to pause that. I feel like that makes me lean more towards the side of the people that are fans of Amnesiac over Kid A. I don't know if it's actually over, but like most the people that say it's not B-sides, I would say that like obviously there is still that Aphex Twin sort of inspired stuff, but overall, I don't think I think it's quite different because the tone is completely different, which fundamentally changes it. I feel like the main thing, if I had to distill down Kid A into its thing, is this like sterile sort of dystopic icy digital sort of space that it inhabits, and this one has a lot more of like a warmer underbelly anger towards it, um which yeah fundamentally changes it. It's kind of like saying okay computer and Kid A are the same because they inhabit similar sort of dystopic worlds. It's like they're very different. Mm. Also the sounds are a bit more delicate maybe. It's been a while since I've heard Kid A, but from memory, like there's like they're more faint. I love his vocals. So, I don't know if Tom York's spoken about as an amazing vocalist, but if he's not, he's underrated. Probably one of my favorite vocalists, actually. I like the vocals on the left hand side definitely reminded me of like some of the more fainter Aphex Twin tracks I've had off of Come to Daddy. If you haven't watched one of my videos before, I do ratings on the side. These are my first listen ratings. I listen to these projects multiple times over before I post my review on Album of the Year, which is the music rating website I use because I don't like rating music. It says 600 reviews. I've done about 1,300 in the past year and a bit, and my average ratings are 6 out of 10. Before the channel, I listened to about 10 albums across my entire life, front to back, and that was like Linkin Park, Bring Me the Horizon, that sort of thing. That's why I'm that Aussie metalhead. Granted, most people don't actually consider that metal because it's metalcore and new metal, so it's more new gen metal. I have never heard Black Sabbath before this channel before, for example. But anyway, I basically listened to fucking nothing, and over the past year and a bit, I've listened to about 1,300 albums, and yeah, average rating 6 out of 10. Solely think that's because most of my listens actually come from Patreon, which is $5 a month starting out, and it's varying costs up until like $15 to request an album and get a backlog of 400 reactions that I've done recorded. I have about 150 on this channel, and there's about 400 on my Patreon, and yeah, the requests that people give are usually Radiohead stuff like OK Computer, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, all that sort of stuff, which leans towards being great, right? And because it's 200 people over there requesting a month, I don't have any time to do anything that's not Patreon requests, so I can't really fill out my curve. So the average is going to be higher. I think spiritually, I have a 5 out of 10 average, because I think something's a 5.1, I think it's above average. But if all of the albums I listen to are genuine classics, kind of can't have a 5 out of 10 average because I'm not listening to the bad albums. Like I'm not listening to the worst Korn album. No one's requested Korn, but if someone's going to request Korn, they're going to request the self-titled Issues, Follow the Leader. They're not going to request the 2018 album, you know? But yeah, with all that being said, I think this is like a 7.5 for me. It's teetering between good to great. On a re-listen, might solidify. I love the vocals of this. Obviously, anything Radiohead does, I feel like is just technically really well done, no matter what. It kind of reminds me of, I guess, like Interpol sort of stuff, or yeah, Interpol's a good example. They're just technically perfect. So with Radiohead stuff, it's more so like, do I vibe emotionally with it because they have such a high standard for like how good and well the music is made, and it's just, do I vibe with this style more? It's weirdly enough, as much as music is subjective, and we're doing ratings and all that stuff, it feels like Radiohead's music to me, depending on my rating, is the most that's inspired by the subjectivity of it. Because if I just had to think of like, oh, how well is this made, they're going to get really high marks all the time, but I don't think it accurately represents how much I enjoy the track, because that is their standard. Like, that's the level that they've always given me. So yeah, I would say it's a good to great track in relative to their catalog. I like the piano. Ooh. I love how emotive his vocals are here. Who sounds like that vocally? Like, this is just Radiohead to me. If there's any bands that have vocals like this, please tell me. I'd love to know. I love how I'm sorry to pause it on the very nice vocal. What's very interesting about this track is I feel like whenever I listen to a song, within the first like 5-10 seconds now, it feels like I can kind of guess like the level of space that they take up, like the amount of compression they have on all of their production and everything like that. So like if it's this big, it's gonna play within the box of that big. What I find very interesting about like really cool bands like Radiohead and stuff like that is sonically it sounds like it's inhabiting like a decent amount of space, but then like that pan was so far in the distance, I'm like, oh, I didn't know you existed there. Oh, this room is a lot bigger than I thought. And it's just a really cool aspect that I feel like, I don't know, that's just in this track. And I don't remember which artist did that similarly recently, because I do like 6 reactions a day. But there was one like a few days ago that also had that experience. I was like, ooh, that's really cool. Like, that pan was just so much further distance-wise than I expected. This sounds really nice. Fuck, I love his voice. He has such a unique emotion that he's able to convey with it. It's so restrained, but it still is able to convey so much feeling. I like it. What a nifty little guy. My rating, I feel like, is actually me being restrained. Because this is stunning. But I'm gonna give it a 9, because I think it's amazing. But I don't even know if it's perfect yet. For me. But it's really amazing. I like it a lot. I'd have to listen to Kid A in conjunction with this to see where I place this. Because the Pyramid song could be at the, like, it would be at the top of Kid A tracks if it was on there. If it didn't break up the tone. This is really good. It's so gorgeous. Crazy good. Huh. Yeah, the more I'm listening to this, the more I'm like, it shouldn't be considered B-sides at all. I like that transition. Not really transition. It's pretty abrupt. This feels like the most Aphex Twin thing ever. Especially those vocals, holy shit. That vocal effect, yeah. Sounds like straight rip from Come to Daddy. It could be too patient. It's not affecting me yet, but it is a very slowly paced track. Ooh. That was done so well. Give you that brief, pretty little piano stuff. Don't come back. It kind of reminds me of like Pink Floyd stuff as well. Like the way they're using panning stuff on similar to Dark Side of the Moon to me. Very similar actually. But it's one more, it's not as textured because it feels like a mixture of like Dark Side of the Moon and some like Aphex Twin stuff I've had. And by mixing the Aphex Twin stuff, it like I like it. Makes it smaller, it's not as grand. Which isn't a diss, it's just observation.
So it doesn't let you in and out, but never open.
I like it. This actually quite enjoyable, I like it a lot. I see that's rated low. And I'm the end. I don't really care. Because I like this a lot.
You can't come back.
I don't know if I like it more than the first one. But this is at least good. I really like it. That pan is so pretty. It makes me feel uncomfortable and I like it. I like it. At least a 7. At least. I would have to listen back to back, the first track and this one, to see which one I like more. I'm leaning towards this one a tiny bit less, because I like the vocals on the first one a lot. But this, like, soundscape is really cool. This is like a low score, which actually might be getting impacted by the fact that people rate it lower. I don't mean to be impacted by that, but... Because, like, it's great. It's a lot more interlude-y, which is a... But I still like it a lot. It's weird how that right ear didn't have much on it at the end there. Ooh. Pretty Yorkie cut pie.
You think you drive me crazy? Well, come on, you and his army, you and your cronies. Come on, Holy Roman Empire. Come on if you think, come on if you think.
This is like a
You can take
very similar Pyramid song. I think I like Pyramid song a bit more. This one's still fucking great.
You can take us.
I'm just a little sucker for his voice, bro. Like, be sad in my ear and I'll love you forever. Maybe I shouldn't investigate why that feeling. Ooh. This was a bit jazzier, I feel. I don't know what quantifies as jazz, because I don't have any music theory knowledge, but there feels like an undertone now. The vocals feel so much like airier than Pyramid Song. Bouncing between 8, 8.5, like minimum great, minimum great, solid as fuck. It's so much more quaint than like the Benz. Like I feel like the Benz is like their biggest number. Who's Nigel Godrich? Scott Pilgrim? I'm back. You too? Oh. A lot more like classic Rocky undertone too. I like the guitar. Kind of gives me like a southern vibe. I don't know why. This song feels more complacent to me. Like we've had, I know, like the other tracks for whatever reason, despite the fact that like there's a very consistent undertone, especially with like Polk and Paul revolving door and stuff like that. It's still, it felt like it was going somewhere. Even if it like is meant to be anticlimactic at the end or whatever, it felt like it had a progression. Where with this, the vocals mixed with like this guitar, it's like it feels like we're in a holding pattern to me, rather than the final destination. And we're like halfway through the track, and it's a 5-minute song, and it's like where's the switch up, you know? Well, like if I remember correctly, I think Pyramid Song or You and Huzami. I don't know why my memory is so bad. ADHD stuff, I guess. But there was a track where it's like, oh, it did switch. Like I was like, oh, it can be a bit repetitive. It stays here, a bit complacent, and then it switched up. This track I feel like needs it right now. For me, at least. Alright, more rock elements coming in. I like how it's the droney thing on the left. Building those. Alright. Sounds like we might go somewhere different. They definitely use directional sound so much. Like it's just in the right ear, mostly. Ooh. That's cool. I like the vocal tone here. I feel like I'll give it a 6. I think it's like, I think I slightly like it more than I dislike it. And I think it's pretty decent. Like I still have the issues with like the pacing, I guess, a bit. But there are some moments that I like quite a bit. It sounds fuller. I like it. More like classic Radiohead sounds to me. I breathed in some gum. Not swallowed. This is definitely a more long pyramid song for me. I like this a lot. So far, I feel like it sits between You and Whose Army and Pyramid Song for me. The tone of that guitar is just so pretty. And his vocals are like at the best here. Just amazing. Pyramid Song might have to get like a 9.5, and this might have to get a 9 on re-listens. Just so good. Oh, I'm just glad there's a lot more focus on his vocals here. Am I high? I think this might be my favorite song. This is easy. Like, I love his vocals here. Fuck. Oh my god. It's like piercing every fucking facet of my body. It's just... Oh my god. I love it. How many streams does this one have compared to the others? That's absurd. That's actually absurd. It's the lowest. That's absurd. This is my favorite. Like I was gonna give it a 10 anyway. That's why I checked the thing to be like, what the fuck? Because I think this is perfect. Like, this is my favorite track. Pyramid Song is closer, and I understand Pyramid Song is like grander. But this one, like the vocals, it's a perfect little track. Oh, it hit me emotionally more than any of the other songs. I fucking love that. Again, this one feels like more jazzy. Kind of reminds me of like a Morrissey sort of stuff. Morrissey by Joe Gilberto, which is only like one of like 4 jazz albums I've actually listened to. Gilberto? This one's alright. It's so soft that it lacks a bit of punch for me. Well, like the other track, like last track had that punch despite being prettier, you know? Let's play some. I don't know why it's not melding with me as much. I like the backing vocals a lot. Ooh, alright. It's catching me. For there at least. His voice has more character here. It's like a bit different than the other vocals. It's growing on me. I like the jazz elements more now. It's bouncing between 7 and 7.5 for me now. It was starting out at like a 6, like I might be wrong. But it's really shifted my opinion. I'll go like 7.5. I think I even might like it more than the revolving door as well. It's been a pretty good album. It feels like a understated good album. Like, it's not like grabbing you by the, like your collar and being like, I'm good. It's like self-assured. I think it's good. Don't know if I'll rate this next track because it's 2 minutes and it could be an interlude, which I think it is. I don't rate interludes as much. Yeah, I like the tone of that. Crazy, this has more than that. Very southerny to me. I might rate it. Because how do album ratings is track averages. I might not rate it, but I actually think it's quite nice. I'd probably give it like a 7, 7.5. I probably won't rate it then. It's quite nice. I love the tone of the guitars. It's very pretty. Kind of gorgeous, actually. It's pretty great. Oh, now we're back to lyrical. I like that sound. Little guy. Little cheeky guys. Ooh. There's a very interlude sort of vibe to it as well. Very cinematic. I wonder if Radiohead's done much like cinematic stuff. It's quite pretty. This is great. Ooh. I'm not sure if I like this as much as you and Who's Humming, but it's very, I think it's quite great. Yeah, I'll say it's on the same level. I need to re-listen to it, but this is so atmospheric and like beautiful, and it sounds so like cinematic. They'd actually kill at doing a soundtrack. Also, surely Radiohead makes a new album that's actually like pretty fucking great in the 2020s, so they can have a sick album in 4 decades. It's a bit more horror-y. I like it.
Once again,
Ooh.
I'm in trouble with my only friend. She is paper in the window panes. She is putting on a smile. Living
Ooh, I love that horn.
glass house. Once again, packed like frozen food battery. Think of all starving men.
I really enjoy it. They're like,
Talk politics and don't throw
more like rebellious sort of snarky tracks too, like lyrically.
Your Royal Highness. Of course I
Like it
to sit
has a very like
around and chat.
war instrumentation.
Of course I like to stand you a fire. Of course I like to sit around and chat.
I love it.
Someone's listening. Once again, we are hungry for life.
This is easily one of my favorite. Like, the horns, the instrumentation, like everything is just so gorgeous.
Mistake to make.
I like how pointed the lyrics are. I feel like they're like the one thing I might have towards the album, despite the fact that like obviously it's trying to delve into a lot of more atmospheric genres and stuff like that, is the fact that it leans a bit hard on it. Like the album, apart from like a few tracks, basically is an instrumental album. Like it's the akin to that, and one that isn't trying to make it point too hard. But I like that this track has a bit more poignancy, I guess. Well, like, I guess if I talk about Death Consciousness, which by the way, the reaction is going to be posted here at some point soon. That one had like, it was super atmospheric and very textured emotionally and all of that sort of stuff. But when they started trying to delve into the world building, it collapsed for me. But like the external world rather than the internal struggles that they were delving into. Internally, great. Externally, bad. And it feels like Radiohead here, they have done like quite a decent amount of like internal and then like sort of external world building with like the atmospheres and the soundscapes. And this track being like the last track and it being a lot more pointed in its delivery. And being this good, I feel like rounds the album together quite well. I like it.
You should turn the other cheek. Living in a glass house. Of course I like to sit around and chat.
It's like Pyramid Song where like it could be a 10 on a re-listen. I'm gonna give it a 9, but like this is a fucking amazing. It's done quite differently to his other tracks because it sort of leans a lot heavier on jazz. gorgeous.
There's someone listening in.
This is actually such a nice album. Pacing wise, it's also incredibly good. Like a lot of albums, I feel like that lean a lot more at instrumental and atmospheric. Unless you're like talking about like the goats of it, like Dark Side of the Moon, stuff like that. It can feel like pretty slow pacing wise because there's not as much meat to chew on because you're basically throwing away vocals a lot of the time. Obviously, this album has quite a decent amount of vocals, but still, it leans a lot more instrumental, and because of that, usually the pacing is a bit more trudgy for me. But this is not the case. Like, compared to like modern albums, this is basically like your stock standard. Maybe a tiny bit higher because I feel like the average album might be like 39 minutes if you consider the underground part of it, and it's like 42-minute album, I think. Like, it's stock standard, but it feels like a short album, which is really nice pacing, and I think goes to show how well they did a lot of their tracks because you're in a genre that leans itself towards not having a quick pace to it. You're having a very passive, patient album, and feels like it has a quick pace when it's actually like pretty normal. Yeah, really quite a great album. Also definitely not Kid A B-sides. Incredibly different. Like, there's a few tracks on here where you could maybe say that, like Pact and Polk and stuff like that, but like overall, no, especially this track, which I feel like is the standout centerpiece of the entire album. Even though it's at the end. But yeah, really good album. If you want to see more Radiohead, but no one requested Amnesiac, but I do need someone to request Hail to the Thief. I'm in the same situation. Now, In Rainbows is covered, but if you want me to get to In Rainbows, because I'm doing monthly uploads, I need someone to request Hail to the Thief. But I only need one person. If you go to my Patreon, it's $5 a month starting out, and when you request an album, it doesn't get into a poll, or it doesn't get into like a random number generator where I pick it out. You pay for the request, you get that request. So yeah, just need one person. And yeah, absolutely, going on this Radiohead journey's been fucking neat, and it's been quite some time since I've done it. Like, listen to a Radiohead project, and it's nice to come back. Very good, very good. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Absolutely love you. Peace.